Hello everyone, Another Trey here, and welcome to episode 28 of Another Trey's Let's Play Modded Minecraft for version 1.21. Today I want to work on finally getting this dire guy, automated. So Shadow Pulse Goo, we are going to set up with our applied energistic system to automatically produce all the ores that the Just Dire Things mod needs. So let's go ahead and take this guy. Already kind of started this little spot over here that I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go ahead and break that wall. I think that's really all the deeper we need to go. I'm gonna break this though, and then replace this wall just with some of these guys. I think we're gonna do the same thing around the outside here. And then we're going to go ahead and put our Shadow Pulse Goo right there. And we're going to need 4 machines. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to need a way to get behind here, I think, to work around with some wiring and stuff. So let's go ahead and get behind here. And the way we're going to do this, I think, is with block placers and a block breaker. So let's go ahead and get... did we not do the advanced block placer? Maybe we didn't. Let's go ahead and automate the block placer, which is going to be advanced block placer, which is this guy. We already have the basic one, so we don't even need to do that. And then come down to our dire section here. Yeah, we never did the advanced one. Cool, so now we have a reason to do that. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 of those. We are going to need some Celestia gems and some ferric core. This is the whole reason that we're doing this. So let's get some diamonds and some iron. We also are going to need some skulk. So let's get one of these boys. We're also going to need an automated way to make skulk. That's not a build we're going to do today, but that is going to be something we work on in the future. Let's go ahead and make Celestia gem, ferric core for now, and we'll let these guys work their magic. There we go. And then we're going to take these and take these. And just for good measure, we'll get a little bit more going while we're waiting. We do have to smelt these guys up. So where's our furnace? Right here. Get that going. Is that going to be enough for what we were just working on? I kind of feel like maybe not. So advanced block placers. 4 of those. No, we're going to need some more. We are also going to need a clicker. That doesn't need to be an advanced one. It just needs to be a simple clicker, I think. So let's get that going. And we're going to break this guy. We're going to put our clicker here. That's the wrong way. Do we have a dire wrench? Yeah, we do. That'll make it easier than trying to flip it around. This actually does matter when you're talking about the basic one because we don't set its borders. So that is going to be good there. And then break this and do it again. Let's go ahead and throw all this stuff in the system. Let's get our... check again to see if we have... I actually didn't throw those in the system before, so we might actually have enough for the placers at this point. Nope, we just need a little bit more Celestia gem, which we probably have at this point. Oh, nope, we ran out of skulk. I didn't even realize. Oop. We'll let those get going. We're also going to need to bring some... applied energistics cables over here. So let's see how many channels we have. 3 channels used here. Is that going to be A total of 4 channels used here. So we have 4 left. Oh, probably because of that one. Yeah. So we're actually going to need... Let's take this stuff. Get all our blocks going. Yoink. And there. And then we'll get our 4 block placers. We also are going to need a breaker. Just a single breaker will be enough. We need for that. We're going to need a Celestigem pickaxe. Which means we're actually going to need more Celestigems. So let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and do... Oops. Cool. We're going to put our block breaker. I'm trying to think, do we want to put it here? Where have we been putting it in the past? Right underneath the glass. So let's go ahead and keep up that motif. And so right here, and then block breaker. And we are going to want to set this up with a... like this. So we go up 1 on the Y, and then I think it's 1 in each of those. Nope. These directions. We're going to want to go back 1. That, and that should take care of those. We are going to set it up that it can only break the raw ores. So if we do Paracore, Blaze Gold, Celestigem, Eclipse Alloy. That's the only things that it'll break now. Let's go ahead and break these guys. Take our pickaxe. Put that in here. And he's going to need some power. We're also going to want to put down our advanced block placers. So if we do like this. Cool. And we'll turn off his render area. Those actually didn't need to be advanced block placers. They only needed to be normal block placers. So yeah, let's take these back out. We'll save these for later because they're a little overkill. Oops, that's a breaker. So simple block placers for those. We are going to need a little bit more ferrocore now since we used all that. All right, so we got a little bit more ferrocore now. We can go ahead and do our block placers. Four. All right, so now those guys should be good to go. The next thing we want to do is connect all this stuff up with our system and get it set up for auto crafting. So I think what I want to do, they each are gonna need a connection. So this guy, I'm trying to think of a way to do it with only one channel. I'm sure there's a way to do it. What I'm thinking we do is get a chest. also get a torch back here because I always forget it's actually kind of dark back here. We just have night vision. And then I think what we can do is put the chest kind of off to the side here. And so this guy, we're going to use a bunch of item conduits with filters. So this guy only gets input. And he gets filtered, which I don't need to run back there anymore. Let's do filter. And then we need skulk. How do you spell skulk? Like that. This is a whitelist. Only skulk can now be inserted into this guy. On these guys, we're gonna put one here, 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 and here, and then we're going to set these to insert. And actually, we're going to want them to both insert and extract always active. No, that's not true. We don't want an extract. The extract is coming from the block breaker. So everything from the block breaker is going back into the system. So all these guys are is inserts. And then this should be a big enough chest for this. These are all going to need filtered as well. I'm trying to think, do they need filtered? Because we're going to have this pull out here. This is extract always active. So if it's a skulk, yeah, they're all going to need filtered because we don't want the skulk being put into here. So let's do, oops. So the rest of these, we're going to do blacklist. So skulk is not allowed inside of these. The only things that should be sent into this chest are skulk and iron blocks, gold blocks, diamond blocks, and netherite blocks. So skulk is not allowed in these. Did it set that for all of these? Because that'd be cool. It did. Nice. Cool. And so we're basically only going to need 2 channels over here. We're going to need a channel to... So we need the pattern provider. That's the first thing. We actually still have a couple of those left over. So if we put the pattern provider here, and then we need to get some cables up here. Let's see if we can make our way down through here. Cool, perfect. And then we're also going to want to the block placer. There is our advanced block breaker. Let's go ahead and we're going to need an You know what we can actually do? I just thought of. We don't even need to send a cable down here. We can do this with one channel. So I'm going to go ahead and get a... what's it called? An item... drops teleporter. Let's get ourselves a drops teleporter and put it on this pickaxe. And then we connect our pickaxe to there, just as always. Yeah, this should work good. All right, and then he goes in there. And then all we should have to do is create a pattern. So let's go ahead and say we want to make ferrocore. So in order to make the ferrocore ingots, they are going to need smelted. That's going to be the next thing. So right now, all we're doing is we're requesting raw ferrocore. Is that what we want to do, or do we want to automatically send these to get smelted? Oh, you know what I forgot? Another thing we can do in order to finish up this is just give this a smelting upgrade, because that'll take care of all the ores as well. So let's do this. We do need one more ferrocore ingot. All right, smelting upgrade. This would help if we bring our pickaxe with us. And, oh, we do have it. Put that guy in there. Okay. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to get... these guys don't need power because they're all simple. But this guy is going to need power. So let's go ahead and hook him up. Where's a good place to get power from? There's got to be power down. Oh, yeah, there's power right here. So let's go. I don't get power into him, so he should be good to go. And then, oops, let's get out of here. The other thing is we need this guy to have skulk. So what we should be able to do is pull it out of... can this guy be set up to have... no, he's not like the other guy. We can't... see, what I would like... we're going to have to use another channel. What I was hoping was to be able to just pull one skulk out of here. This guy's got to constantly have one skulk in him. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to do that. And now that I think about it, he doesn't actually need to be connected to that. And none of this needs filtered because he doesn't get connected to this. So let's do that. And then for the skulk, I think what we're going to do... make a bus. So... stock export bus, because well, now that I think about it, it doesn't even need to be a stock export bus. Well, yeah, it does, because this has an inventory. So we only want one held in here at a time. Let's tell it we only want to keep one in stock at a time. And then we should be able to just pull this out of here. Connect it like that. So south means you put it from that direction. So we want to be putting it from north. So if we set this to placing from north. Man. And then we actually want to make sure that we're very careful and that we're using our Celestigem hoe for this. All right. Now, he should only be able to click on that from the north direction, which is where the block placer is. Yeah. So then we shouldn't get all those random blocks all around it. Cool. Yeah, so that should make that work, which means we don't actually need any of these filters. So once again, I made filters that I didn't need. But filters are always good to have on us. Where'd this filter come from? Oh, right, because we had 5 of them. So let's go ahead and put those all in there. We also still have these filters. So now, whenever we get a recipe, we're going to be asking for ferrocore. Now, whenever an iron block turns into a ferrocore ore, when it breaks it, it's always going to drop either 3 or 4 of the ferrocore ore. We don't ever want to count on the 4, so we're just going to assume that it drops 3 every time. That way, if there's a little bit of extra, so be it. There's a little bit of extra. So then let's go ahead and make this guy a processing pattern. We're going to take a block of iron. We're going to say if you put in a block of iron, you're going to get out 3 ferrocore. Right? And that way, if we put this pattern in here, we go, well, let's fill this hole. And this guy. All right, so now if we were going here and we request a ferrocore, it's going to try to craft a minimum of 3. It's going to place the iron block. It's going to turn into a ferrocore ore. They get broken, smelted, and sent back to the system. So now we should have 15 because it dropped 3. There was a possibility of dropping 4, but it didn't. Now, the only thing I'm curious about is if we do this, since this has the smelting upgrade on it, and we do have one thing that doesn't require smelting, and that's Celesta Gem. Let's set up, let's change this and set up the gold and blaze gold. Set that to 3. And then we do the Celesta Gem. That is going to be also 3 from a diamond block. And then the last one we need is the netherite into Eclipse. Block of netherite into Eclipse ingots. Okay, and we put all those in here. So let's say we go ahead and we order a blaze gold. That should drop a gold block in there. That's awesome. And then let's say we go ahead and order Celesta Gem. Should why did it wait? So it looks like that worked fine, but I do want to know why it waited to place that. So if we do, let's say we did 7 of these. Now let's do 6, so that does 2 blocks. 2 blocks of gold. For some reason it's waiting. Why are you waiting? And why are you only placing in the bottom? Oh, because it sent them all into this block. It didn't do round robin. That's why. Okay. So can I set this to round robin? And this guy to round robin. And this guy to round robin. and this guy to round robin. Cool. I'll let these finish up quick so that the crafting clears. All right, so we're all clear now. I set these all to round robin. Let's try that little experiment again. If I go ahead and request 20 of these, that's going to send 7 iron blocks. Should... You know what? I think this is the one that needed to be set to round robin. Okay, let's cancel that. Pull this guy out. Aim. And then cancel the crafting. All right, so the one that needs to be sent to round robin is actually the one that's sending, which is this guy, not all these guys. I'm going to leave them alone because they don't matter. But now that this guy is set to round robin enabled, let's go ahead and try that one more time. 20, fair core. Yep. Now it's going to go ahead around. Still stopped. It put 2 in there, put 3 in there. So, still not completely like going to each spot, which is strange. It's just doing the first 2. So now that I know that the round robin doesn't work the way that I thought it did, and I don't actually need to use filters, I don't think that Ender IO is actually the way I want to go with this. Let's go ahead and break these and get rid of these guys. We don't need them right now. And I think I want to try to use modern dynamics. Let's go ahead and see what it takes to make the modern dynamics item pipes. They're actually super cheap, which is awesome. Let's get a ton of those. And they also are going to need extractors. Well, we're going to need 1 extractor. Let's go ahead and start that off. This guy, and these guys might be round robin by default. We're going to find out. So let's go like that, and then this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then if I put this one here, and we're actually just going to throw 4 iron blocks in this chest and see what happens. It's going to go ahead and pull them all out. That's going to put them all in the closest spot, which is the problem we were having before. And we're going to let that guy finish up. If I go to here and I say uses, is there anything here that says it does round robin? So let's see what the advanced behavior does, which comes from a fuzzy card. So if we put that in there, so it does have an option for round robin. Let's see what the round robin for this does. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4 and see if it hits all 4 of them. No, it still put them all in there. If we set it to 1 extracted per operation on round robin, does that do what we want it to? Maybe it sends the whole operation to the same place. So let's go ahead and throw those 4 in there. It's going to pull out 1 at a time. I'm going to put that guy. This looks like it might be what we want. That guy, and yeah, he's going over here. So it looks like these do what we want. It's just a matter of getting everything to move a little faster because those items obviously run around there really slowly. So if we go into our extractor settings and we say, look up the uses, what is everything that's going to make this run faster? So we don't need, well, capacity card will make max moved items plus 10. We don't want max move items. We just want 1 going each time. But what we do want is item speed. So we want acceleration cards. We can have 3 acceleration cards. Let's do that first, see how fast it gets. I am tired of falling down this hole. Do we have those set up, actually? Yeah, we do. Actually, we have a bunch of them. So let's just get our 3 acceleration cards. and put those in here. We also, I think sticky piston was an option. Can we make a sticky piston? Do we have, I don't even know if I think we have slime balls. Let's auto craft our piston and then turn it into a sticky guy. Yep, we can do that. And then put that in here. And then once again, we are going to put 4 of them in here and we're going to see what happens. How fast? Oh, that goes much faster. Yeah. That's a lot better. And that should finish that up. And do we have any other options for going even faster? Because that would be nice. Let's go ahead and look up our extractor again. All right. Item speed 100%, item transfer frequency plus 100%. Oh, that's the one we just did. So we did 3 of those. And fluid. Advanced behavior we already have. Filter slots, don't need more moved items. Nope. Advanced behavior we already have. Item move speed, item transfer frequency. So we can do 3 speed upgrades. In order to do that, we need infused alloys from mechanism. What does that take? Metallurgic infuser. I don't think we're going to do that right now, but we will get into that very soon. So I think we're actually going to leave the episode here. We have the ability now to auto craft all of the dire stuff. So if I say, give me 10 Celesta gems and give me, are you going to go? Yep, looks like that's going to be cool. And then if I say, give me an Eclipse alloy, give me 4 of those. And then we start that. It should store them up in this chest. It looks like it's not doing that. Oh, probably it already sent them out, actually. It sent them into whichever block it was up to in the round robin. Yep, that's going to stick it there. Stick that there. So, yeah. That appears to be working. We're going to throw these in here, and these in here, and these in here. We are going to have a problem with Skulk now, because it's going to start eating up Skulk every once in a while whenever we request stuff. So we're either going to have to start farming Skulk, which we can actually do, and maybe we'll do that next episode. That might be the build that we do to kind of cap this one. Yeah, that seems pretty easy, actually. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining me for automating the just dire things, ores and metals and Celesta gems. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.